Welcome to the Prepared Enough podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Mila, former teacher, mom of four, and firm believer that well-prepared physical spaces can do a lot of heavy lifting in motherhood. In this podcast, you'll hear ideas for organizing spaces paired with rhythms and habits that build your child's responsibility and bring more ease into your day. Follow along and let's make big impacts with simple adjustments. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Prepared Enough podcast. Today we have a fun episode number 34. We are chatting about some products. It's like a good influencer-y vibe podcast that I've got coming for you. But we've got 12 products that I'm going to go through that I have been loving this summer, that I could come up with off the top of my head that I'm like, I love these products that I have. And some of them are new to me this summer, and a lot of them are old to me too. Like I've been using them for a couple of years now. So lots of good stuff that I really like. And I am excited to have this podcast episode because I'm like, oh, it's a fun one. It's like we're chit-chatting across the table from one another as friends. And I'm just telling you the things that are working for me that I really like and I'm using. And so here we go. Before we get totally started, I want to just ask that if you've been around for a minute, you've been listening, and you've been liking our podcast episodes, to just go rate the podcast on Apple or Spotify, wherever you are. We are obviously only on episode number 34, so we don't have a million ratings or anything like that. And I'm a small little guy, so if you have been listening or you've listened once or twice and you really like it, just go click the 5 stars for me. That would be really awesome. Thank you. And another last little thing is, if you aren't subscribed to the newsletter yet, I do post like links to the podcast in there at the end every month-ish, and I try to send out a newsletter like twice a month, usually is what they come to you as. And it's called Drink Water, Eat Snacks. That's the name of the newsletter, and a lot of times I structure it in like a Drink Water, Eat Snacks format, where we have drink, which is like drink up some good news to inspire you, quotes, whatever. Water, something like your health, your habits, or your home. And eat is like literal food ideas for busy moms, and some listening recommendations for while you cook. And snacks is bite-sized personal updates, stories, and that's where I share the podcast links. So if you're not subscribed and you really want to, you can go check it out. On a Substack, and so you can kind of actually see the newsletters that have come through in the past, which is unusual for all newsletters. So the Substack's kind of cool for that way. You can kind of test it out without even putting your email in. Okay, now we're going to get started on the products. All right, first product, it's my favorite one. It's why it's first. All the rest aren't in any particular order, but this one is first, and it's new to me this summer. I have had several people in my real life ask where I've gotten these from, and actually I got them off the idea off of somebody else who influenced me to buy them. Her name is Hannah, and she writes the newsletter Yapping All the Way. I think she has an Instagram. I don't know, because I'm not on Instagram anymore, but I think maybe that's like how she got started doing this newsletter, whatever. She talks all about sewing and knitting, and she makes her own clothes, which is awesome. And I follow her because I have this dream to make my own clothing, and I just, it's a dream still. It's not a reality yet. Anyway, she shared a couple things she was liking a long time ago, like in the spring, before the summer even happened. And this was, I imagine maybe she lives like somewhere warmer than I do. I don't know, maybe not. But she shared these. I haven't even told you what the product is yet. They are these coffee lids, these stainless steel coffee lids that go on top of mason jars. And they're the best purchase that I've made in a really long time. They're so great. I had this dilemma that I always wanted to drink iced coffee. So I drink 2 coffees a day. I drink a morning coffee, that's always warm. And I drink an afternoon coffee. In the winter, in the fall, in the spring, the afternoon coffee is warm. In the summer, we don't have central air. Our house gets toasty. Outside is hot. Everywhere is hot. And I just want an iced coffee. So I literally just put the coffee from my normal coffee pot into a cup and add ice. Well, last year, I was just using like a regular glass cup, or usually I used a mason jar just because it was convenient for the size of it. And I just stuck a straw in the top. And it was annoying to me to have to carry it around. And sometimes I'd be like outside and I'd be in my garden or something and I'd want to set it down, but it's kind of gross to set down a cup without a lid on the ground of a garden, right? Just like bugs and dirt and plant products are just like flying into your drinks. So that's no fun. So I was like, well, I don't really want to put it in a travel mug. My husband has the ones with the handles, and I probably could have used one of his, but he is usually using his. And I also don't like to wash all the parts. And the only travel mug I have is too small for an iced coffee because, you need a little bit more space when you're going to add a bunch of ice. So I was like, I'll just use mason jars and stick a straw in, right? So that was always my solution to the problem. But then there was more problems because I didn't want things to get into my drink. So these lids that go on top of the mason jar, they are almost spill-proof. Like, they're not really spill-proof, but they have plasticky or like silicone gaskets around the edge so that it doesn't spill out of the cap, and it also is on the little drinky spot. Like, you can flip a thing down and close off the drink spot, like where you drink from. And so it's just, I don't know what that's called. I'm sure it has an actual name. But so it's perfect, and it's basically like you can put your finger over it and shake it up and nothing comes out. So it's spill enough proof, which is great for me. So this was one of my favorite purchases. I'm very happy about it. I love them, and I tell everybody about them. I'm like, go get these from Amazon. They're super great. So I will link to that. I bought the same ones that she linked to, but there's a couple out there, I think, because my sister-in-law was looking for them and these weren't available, and there's other brands. I imagine they probably all come from the same place. So that's that. I'm going to link to those. They're great. I think they come in a 2-pack. That's why I keep saying those. All right. Second product, Chaco sandals. I am a flip-flop girl and a sandal girl. As soon as it's warm enough, I am only in sandals, and you will not find me in any other shoes. And 99% of the time, the sandals that I'm wearing are flip-flops because they're just easy to slide right on. And like I had a pair of Chaco's the name brand. I've had a pair of them before, and I still have them. They're just like the camping sandals, like the hiking ones that are all strappy and they strap around your back of your foot and whatever. And I loved them, and I loved the support on the bottom of the shoe, and they just felt like a really sturdy shoe. I didn't feel like they were getting ruined at all. I've had them for years, and so like a long time ago, maybe a decade ago, honestly, I was like, I'm gonna buy flip-flops in the same brand because they're that plasticky material and it can go in water and you can come out of water, like you can walk around in a pool area, like you can get them wet in puddles, whatever, rinse them off, they're good to go. They don't stay wet for very long. The straps are like a fabric material, but it still dries quite fast. Anyway, it's like a Croc without being a Croc and in flip-flop form, which is great. I'm sure Crocs sells flip-flops too, so feel free to go look theirs up. But Chacos have the best arch support if you need a little bit of arch support in there. And for me, I just really liked them because I wore flip-flops all over the place, even when we'd walk at fairs and long distances. And if I had the really flat shoes, my feet would get kind of sore by the end of the day. So this was my solution, one of the best solutions I've ever come up with. They are still going strong. I bought a black pair just because I was just going to buy one. They're a little bit pricier, but well worth the money. I mean, I've had them for forever, and they don't even look worn. I wear them literally every day out and about. I wear them in our chicken coop. Like, I wear them all over the place. Rinse them off all the time. They're all perfect and dandy, and they look hardly used. Now, I will say that if you get like a color, the fabric on these sandals fades a little bit. So if you, like, I bought black, and so my color didn't fade all that much on the fabric. It just is black. But if you get a design, sometimes, especially if there's white in the design, it'll get a little dirty or it'll just fade over time. And so just be aware of that when you're picking out what color you want to get. Anyway, not an affiliate link. It's going to be coming to you. It's just a normal link because I like these sandals. Okay. So Chaco flip-flops, 10 out of 10. Stainless steel coffee lids, 15 out of 10. No, but I really do like both of these. All right. The third product is this summer we bought a pocket Bible, and the one that I have fits like exactly perfectly in. I bought it for my car, and I bought it with the intention of keeping this pocket Bible in my car. And I didn't measure because I don't do that. My husband's somebody that does stuff like that. Like they look at the measurements of things before they buy it and think, oh, where am I going to store this? I want it to fit exactly in here. Like he does stuff like that. I don't. I just buy it and I'm like, oh, this works. Or, oh, I'll put it somewhere else. I just don't look at the measurements. But I bought this pocket Bible. It fits perfectly in my minivan in the little slot above, like in the center console area. It's like just fits like a glove. It's meant to be there. And I bought this cute little blue one. And then what I've been trying to do is every so often before we leave, if we're like a little bit early, which we're not all the time early, but if we're a little early somewhere or if we're leaving and we're on time, I pull it out and we'll read a psalm. I don't know where I saw this. Somebody had this idea somewhere and I wish I could give them credit for it, but I heard about it, saw it somewhere. I don't know what I did. I don't know if somebody sent it to me. Whatever. It's not my idea. But they get into the car and they would read a psalm before they left to go anywhere. And for me, I know that the kids don't really, like, when you're just reading straight from scripture, we have little kids 7 and under. And so they're not really understanding everything that comes out of that. And plus you're not reading things with a context, although psalms are pretty easy to read without a ton of context. But yeah, so we've just been kind of dabbling in it here and there, and I just like having it in there. And I also usually do like scripture memorization with a group of women during the school year. So we will start that again in the fall. And so I'll just have that right inside of my car. I was printing it out before, and I probably will still print it for like easy reference, but it'll be able to be in this little pocket Bible for the times that I haven't printed it yet, because there's plenty of times where I would be like, oh, we need to memorize this part before next weekend and I need to print this, and I wouldn't print it for days and days and days. And so then we'd be at the end of the week and I still hadn't printed it. So this will be nice for that. Okay. The fourth product that I love is my new swimming suit. So I got I think the name brand is Livy and Kate. I think that's how you pronounce it, Livy and Kate. And I'll link to the one that I got. It's like a black. Okay, I was trying to go with more color, but I ended up with this like black one with colorful flowers. So it's not all the way black. It is colorful. And it fits perfectly. I have been looking for years for good swimming suits, and I got one that I liked, and I do really like the top, but it's more like a casual lounge on the beach swimming suit. I'm trying to think of the name brand of that other one. I can't, but this one, this Livy and Kate one that I got, is so worth the price if you are gonna actually swim in the water, jump in, dive in, swim around with your kids, do activities like water ski, whatever, tubing, whatever it may be. This one will stay on your body. It's a 2-piece, but like you can't even really tell it's a 2-piece because there's maybe a sliver of stomach if you lift your arms up showing. And so it's like a high-waisted bottom that I got. They fit really, really nicely. Like they hit right where they're supposed to. And the top is like a built, like I think it has removable inserts, but it's like just a built-in top and fits on perfectly, and it is super secure. I love it. I love their swimming. I would buy another swimming suit from there, and that's hard to say because I usually get a swimming suit and I'm like, oh, that's fine, but I'll try to search around for a better one. So this one I would not. I would be like, this is a good brand. I'm going to go buy another swimming suit from this brand. I really like it. Okay, the fifth product is the kids' coffee mugs. So my son, he asked for a travel coffee mug because he probably wanted to copy me for his birthday. And so we searched around for one, and then we got my daughter for her birthday this summer the same mug, and we'll get our other kids the same mug for Christmas this year. But they are just really nice. They're Yeti, and I don't love the brand name. I don't love the brand Yeti. I feel like I don't like the way their stuff looks. It's more an aesthetics thing. I also have used their brand before, and maybe it was just because it was the old top that didn't have the slide-on little clicker thingy yet. My husband uses their stuff because I think he got it from work or whatever as like gifts. But I just had never had good luck with their stuff keeping things warm. But for kids, they don't need to stay warm all day. Like they're just, it's going to be what it's going to be. It's fine. But I really like, they have a Yeti. I think it's called the Yeti Rambler, and it's a 12 ouncer. And it has this twist lid. And so instead of like a clicking lid or whatever, you just twist the inside and it opens it up and you drink it like a cup. And so I just thought the lid was really clever for kids. I think it will work well for our family, and everybody, even young kids, would probably be able to use it. And so you can use it for cold or hot beverages. And so we really liked it. So that was our 5th product that we're liking this summer. Number 6, I started using these back in maybe the winter or maybe even just spring. I have been really liking the Earthling Co. I don't know, that's what the company's name is, like the Earthling Company, whatever. Shampoo and conditioner bars. I've never used bars before, and so I am open to suggestions if you have a bar brand that you really like. However, I do really like theirs. I am using I think it's called like the volumizing shampoo and conditioner, and I'm not like overly impressed. It's not like I am like, this is like the way it feels. I was using decent shampoo and conditioner before I bought this, so I don't feel like I noticed much of a difference. But I did notice a difference on the length of time that each lasted. Now, I will say that their conditioner bars don't work great for me. I just have really long hair. And right now, I go back and forth between short hair and long hair. And right now, I have really long hair. And so I need a lot of conditioner. And it takes a really long time to run the conditioner bar through my hair. And it just doesn't untangle the hair very nicely. So I use the conditioner bar first. And then I put a tiny little bit of, it's called the Maui brand. It's the brand name. And it's just a conditioner from Target. And I bought it probably because it was like a good enough conditioner and it looked cute. Honestly, it was just from Target, and now I'm just stuck on it. Like this is good enough. This is what I use. So I use that a little bit over the top, just as more of like a detangler when I want to brush my hair, and I just comb it with a wide comb, a wide toothed comb. Is that what they're called? In the shower, and I don't brush it once I get out of the shower, but in order to get the brush through, I did need a little bit more conditioner in as a detangler than the conditioner bar was able to give me. But I feel like I've saved a lot of money because I was using decent conditioner and shampoo before this. And so I went through it way faster than I've been going through the bars. So it has been really, really nice to have this change up of having the bars. So if you have another bar and conditioner and shampoo bar brand that you really like, let me know about it, because I'm open to other brands, but so far this one has been working perfectly great for me, and I like their ingredients. So yes. So number 7, I bought a very cute notebook from Target, and so far we have been both good and bad about it, but because mostly the bad part was because we had a really busy week and I forgot to put it out on the table. But I've been leaving it on the table as a family logbook of sorts, and so we just can write in it whenever we want to write in it and write notes to each other and what we did for the day, and if we missed some dates, who cares, and if we, go every day, that's great. So that's been kind of fun to leave on the table. My oldest daughter has been writing back to me a little bit in there, and then our next daughter kind of wrote 1 or 2 things in there, drew a picture or something like that, which is fun. So I plan to keep a notebook out on their table and keep that going, and not really care too much if we skip days, but I will link to the notebook because the notebook itself is a tiny little joy. It's just a super cute notebook, and I usually am really picky about my notebooks, so this one is really cute. Anyway, that's that. It's good. It would be good for a journal if somebody journaled. Especially, it's like a earthy one, so if you're like a nature journaler, this would be perfect for you. All right, number 8. Oh, I'm going to link to it, but I just looked today and they don't sell it anymore. And so I'm hoping it's one of those it's a t-shirt from Target, and it's a white t-shirt, and it's my favorite shirt that I own, and they don't have it in stock. And I'm hoping it's like one of those t-shirts that comes back every year, like those Target tank tops. So I'm going to hold my breath on it, but I don't know. We'll see if that actually happens. I'll link to it for you, but it is just a Universal Threads white t-shirt, but it's like I have other t-shirts of theirs and they're not that great. And so this one was great, like a perfect summer t-shirt, and I'm really sad that they don't have it in stock anymore. Otherwise, because the reason I looked today is because I was like, oh, I love this so much and I'm telling people about it. I should go buy another one. But they don't have it in stock, so bummer. Number 9 is I bought these plant supports this year, and they're just a simple little purchase from Amazon, and I'm not going to talk too much about them because they're just a plant support, but yeah, I'm going to link to the clips that I bought this year because they're much better than the clips that I bought last year to hold up the vegetables and stuff like that. But these plant supports were really, really nice in my actual flower garden, like my actual garden. I call it my actual garden, but most people, when they say they have a garden, they're talking about a vegetable garden. I have a vegetable garden too, but I call my flower garden my actual garden, I guess. My flower garden, I used these plant supports because I grow yarrow and Shasta daisies and like some more wild plants, and a lot of them kind of fall over into the other ones, and so I like to have these plant supports kind of hidden underneath, and they hold up the plants a little bit nicer on the edges so that they kind of stay in their space and don't overcrowd the other plants and end up like looking topply. I don't know, so they just look nicer with these plant supports near them. And you can't see them, and they're hidden by the flowers anyway. So I really liked them this year. And then the clips that I use in our veggie garden are the best ones that I've used. I've only used different clips for another 2 years before this, so it's not like I'm an expert in plant clips. But these ones have been working for me really nicely. They just have an extra, like you clip it around the pole, and then there's like an extra little clip thingy at the end that secures it nicer. I don't know. It's just the way that they're shaped. That's a little bit nicer than the other ones that I've ever used. So I will link to those too. Both of them are just super cheap purchases from Amazon. I'm actually going to go on today and order even more plant supports because now I traded some out to our vegetable garden because some stuff needed just a little propping up my squash so that it didn't fall all over the lettuce plants and stuff. And so I just kind of put some plant supports underneath it just a tiny little bit because it's going a little too crazy for me. But anyway, so all those are great. Number 10, we got what are they called? They're called maybe letter trays. And I bought them for the art camp that I ran this summer so that the kids could have a drying rack. And I'm going to now use them in our own home for our own kids' art drying rack area. We just moved our youngest son upstairs, and so the room that he was in was previously like an art guest bedroom, like a combination of a bunch of stuff room, but I called it the art room because we had a lot of art stuff in there and they could use a lot of the art materials. And so when he was down in here, we have just had a little cabinet of art supplies, and that works great. But it is going to be nice and exciting to be able to put out some more messy art materials again and then have these drying racks in there. So I'm excited to do this. So, but I really like these drying racks. And when I was a teacher in 4K, I looked for stuff like this all the time. We had drying racks, but sometimes the ones at school are kind of tricky because they have really big holes. And if you're making a smaller project, it's like falling through the holes and it's not great. It only works if you have like flat, large paper. So these are just letter trays, and they're like that mesh metal, and they're great. I have been using like a smaller version of these for my kids' drying rack upstairs on their art cabinet, but it's just a tiny little version. And so now I'm just excited because we have a lot more space. So this will be great. Number 11, Again, this is another thing that we bought for the art camp. So if you are into kids art, this is a really fun one. Weaving. So we weaved at our art camp, and there are these small little wooden looms in a giant pack for sale on Amazon, and they were so much better than making those little cardboard looms that one makes. These are great. You can skip a hole and make less string around, or you can make them as big as you want them. You can just use the wood however you kind of want to use it. And it is great. So yeah, I don't know. That's just another little art recommendation for kids. I love it. Last but not least, we needed some hanging planters this year. We needed one for the inside, and then I used one of these also on the outside of my house in our shade garden. I was like, oh, I don't want this boring. I have a hanging plant planter because they came in a pack of 3, and so I used it outside too. And I think they're labeled indoor outdoor. Would have to double check that, but I am using it actively as an outdoor planter and as an indoor planter, and both have been working really well. They have a little plug on the bottom that you can remove for outdoor use. And then the plug can go back in for indoor use, and then it collects like in the bottom of the pot, as one does with a self-draining pot. But yeah, they come in I think a 3-pack, and it is like a small, medium, and large hanging planter. And they're super cute. They're plastic, so, whatever. But the vibe is very cute. They're like this, there's different colors, but I got a yellowy color, and they have like vertical indent stripey thingies on them. Anyway, they're super cute. And I love hanging planters that have that draining system, because it is actually really annoying to have a hanging plant that has just a normal pot or something that you have to watch for all the dripping water for a little bit as you're watering it. And so it's just nice to have those self-draining ones. So yeah, and then it kind of helps the plant out too, because they water themselves or whatever a little bit. Once the soil is dry, then that water from the down there will kind of get soaked up by a root system. My goodness, I'm having a loss for words. The roots are going to help their own plant out. Yep, this is a good thing. Okay, anyway, long story short, they're cute yellow planters. That's all. Okay, the last ones were all kind of boring because they were just basically normal products. I didn't have too many stories about them, but we like all of those products. So that is that on all of those products. I am going to go into the next month. So we're done with this episode, 12 products. And then next month, we're going to talk about this. Next month is August. And we are going to be more in that back to school mode. So we're going to talk a little bit about some ideas on how to make your life simpler and easier, and just so that everybody can enter the school year feeling a little bit better. Now, it's still going to be stressful. The school year is always stressful, but hopefully some of this podcast information coming up in August will help it be just a tiny bit less stressful. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. You'll have to let me know. Okay, that is all. Drink water, eat snacks, everybody. Tash.